The hotel receipt fell from Emily's jacket pocket and landed face up on our kitchen counter, the printed date staring at me like an accusation. The same weekend she'd supposedly been at her sister's house in Phoenix. I stood there, frozen, my coffee mug halfway to my lips. The Holiday Inn logo. Room 237. 2 nights. $348 charged to our joint credit card. The one I never bothered checking because I trusted my wife of 12 years. Trust. What a stupid word. My hands didn't shake. That surprised me. Instead, I felt this strange, cold clarity wash over me as I pulled out my phone and opened our credit card app. I'd never been the suspicious type, never snooped through Emily's things, never questioned her late nights at the hospital where she worked as a nurse administrator. We had 2 kids, Olivia, 10, and Jake, 7, a 4-bedroom house in suburban Atlanta, and what I'd thought was a solid marriage. The app loaded. I scrolled back through the charges, my thumb moving mechanically across the screen. There, another hotel charge. 6 weeks ago. Different location, same story. She'd been visiting her college roommate in Savannah that weekend. And another one, 3 months back. My stomach turned to ice. I heard her car pull into the driveway. The engine cut off. Car door slammed. Her heels clicked on the walkway, that familiar sound that used to make me smile when I heard her coming home. I slipped the receipt back where I'd found it and set my phone down, forcing myself to breathe normally. Emily walked in through the garage door, her auburn hair pulled back in a ponytail, still wearing her scrubs from the morning shift. "Hey, babe," she said, dropping her purse on the counter and kissing my cheek. "You're home early." "Finished the inspection ahead of schedule," I said. My voice sounded normal. Steady. I worked as a building inspector for Fulton County. Predictable hours, decent pay, boring as hell according to Emily's jokes at dinner parties. How was work? Exhausting. Budget meetings all afternoon. She opened the fridge and grabbed a bottle of water. "I'm thinking of just ordering pizza tonight. I'm too tired to cook." I watched her drink, watched her throat move as she swallowed, and wondered how many lies could fit inside one person. "Sure," I said. "Pizza sounds good." She smiled at me, that same smile I'd fallen in love with 15 years ago when we met at Georgia State, and headed upstairs to change. The moment I heard our bedroom door close, I grabbed my phone and texted my buddy Ryan, who worked as a private investigator after retiring from the Atlanta PD. "Need to talk. Today. Urgent." His response came in seconds. "Office. 5 p.m. You okay?" No. I deleted the messages and sat down at the kitchen table, staring at nothing. The afternoon sun slanted through the windows, catching dust motes in the air. Somewhere upstairs, water ran in the shower. Normal sounds. Normal day. Everything looked exactly the same as it had this morning when I'd kissed Emily goodbye and told her I loved her. But nothing was the same. My phone buzzed. A text from Emily's number. "Can you grab Jake from soccer practice? Running late." Except she was upstairs, in our shower. Right now. I stood up and walked to the stairs, taking them 2 at a time. The bathroom door was closed, steam seeping out from underneath. I tried the handle. Locked. "Em?" I called out. "Yeah?" Her voice came muffled through the door in the running water. "Did you just text me?" A pause. "What?" "No, my phone's on the bed." "Why?" I walked into our bedroom. Her phone sat on the nightstand, screen dark. I picked it up. No passcode, never had been, and checked her messages. Nothing. No text to me about Jake, but there was a thread with a contact labeled Diane W. The preview showed, "Can you grab Jake from soccer practice? Running late." I opened it. The conversation above was mundane. Lunch plans, work complaints, the kind of stuff she'd text to her friend Diane from the hospital. But something felt wrong. The tone shifted too much between messages. Some were chatty and casual, others brief and almost formal. I scrolled up further, weeks back, and there it was. Mixed in with the legitimate conversations with Diane were messages that didn't match. Can't wait to see you Friday. Last night was incredible. He suspects nothing. My vision tunneled. The phone felt like it weighed 1,000 pounds. The shower shut off. I put the phone back exactly where I'd found it and walked out of the bedroom, down the stairs, and straight to my truck. I sat in the driver's seat, gripping the steering wheel, and finally let myself feel it. The rage, the betrayal, the sick feeling of my entire life cracking apart. But underneath all that, something else emerged. Something cold and calculating. I'd spent 12 years building a life with this woman. We had kids together, a home, shared finances, shared friends, shared everything. And she'd been using our money to rent hotel rooms with someone she'd hidden in her phone under a fake name. My phone showed 2:47 p.m., 2 hours until my meeting with Ryan. I started the truck and headed to pick up Jake from soccer practice because that's what good fathers do. They show up. They keep things stable for their kids, even when the world's falling apart. And they document everything. The bank notification sits in my inbox like a grenade with the pin pulled. I'm in my truck outside Jake's elementary school, engine idling, watching parents stream toward the pickup line. The email arrived 3 minutes ago. Subject line: Large transfer confirmation. Account YAP4472WOW. I don't recognize the account number. My finger hovers over the notification. The preview text shows an amount, $47,000. My vision tunnels. That's nearly half our savings. I tap the email open. Dear Mr. Thompson, this confirms the transfer of $47,000 from your joint savings account ABI rate 834, to joint checking account NAR472 on EO3.14/2024 at 2:17 p.m. Account holders: Emily Thompson, David Brennan. If you did not authorize this transaction, please contact us immediately at David Brennan. The name means nothing to me. I read it 3 times, waiting for recognition that doesn't come. Not a friend, not a cousin, not anyone Emily has ever mentioned in 12 years of marriage. But she opened a joint account with him and just transferred $47,000 into it. My hands are shaking. I grip the steering wheel until my knuckles go white, forcing myself to breathe. Parents are looking at me. I probably look like I'm having a heart attack. The second phone, the hotel receipts, the fake trips, and now this. Money moving to a man I've never heard of. I pull up my banking app, fingers clumsy on the screen. Our joint savings account shows the withdrawal, posted an hour ago. The balance that should read $94,000 now shows $47,000. She took exactly half. Planning. This is planning. My phone buzzes. Emily's name appears. Don't forget Jake has piano at 6. Can you drop him? I'm running late at work. I stare at the message. She transferred nearly $50,000 90 minutes ago, and now she's texting me about piano lessons. The normalcy of it makes my stomach turn. I type back, got it. 3 dots appear. Disappear. Appear again. Thanks, babe. Love you. The casual cruelty of those words. Love you. While she's draining our accounts and hiding money with a man named David Brennan. Jake appears at the passenger window, backpack bouncing. I unlock the door, sliding my phone face down on the console. Hey, buddy. Dad, guess what? Mr. Patterson said my science project might win. That's great. My voice sounds normal, distant, like it's coming from someone else's body. Tell me about it. He chatters the whole drive home about volcanoes and baking soda reactions. I make the right sounds, ask the right questions. Inside, I'm calculating. $47,000. A joint account with another man. The affair isn't just physical, it's financial. She's building an exit strategy. Or they are. I pull into our driveway at 3:45. Emily's car isn't here yet. Good. Go get a snack, I tell Jake. I need to make a work call. He disappears inside. I sit in the truck, email still glowing on my screen. Ryan answers on the second ring. Hey man, still on for 5? She transferred $47,000. Silence. Say that again. I just got a notification from the bank. Emily moved half our savings to a joint account. The other name on the account is David Brennan. You know that name? No, give me a second. I hear keyboard clicks. Spelling? Brennan, I assume. David. More clicking. Common name. I'm gonna need more to narrow it down. Forward me that email. Everything you've got. Doing it now. I tap through screens, sending him the bank notification, screenshots of our savings account. Ryan, this is bad. This isn't just an affair. No, it's not. His voice has gone flat, professional. This is asset concealment. She's moving money before filing, or she's planning to disappear. Either way, you need to freeze your accounts. Today. Can I do that? You're on the accounts. Call the bank right now. Tell them you suspect fraud. They'll put a hold on everything until it's sorted out. Do it before she moves anything else. My mind is racing. If I freeze the accounts, she'll know I know. Brother, she already knows you'll find out. That email went to you too, right? She's either counting on you not checking it, or she doesn't care anymore. My guess? She's accelerating her timeline. The second phone. The text about Jake while her real phone sat on the nightstand. She's been careful for months, maybe years. Why get sloppy now? Unless she's not being sloppy. Unless she's already 3 steps ahead. I'm calling the bank, I say. Then I'm going through everything. Every account, every card, every... Stop. Ryan cuts me off. Listen to me. You call the bank. You freeze the accounts. Then you do nothing else. You don't confront her. You don't let on that you know. You act normal until we meet at 5. I need 2 hours to run this David Brennan through every database I've got access to. Can you hold it together that long? I look at my house. 4 bedrooms, 2-car garage, swing set in the backyard. 12 years of my life behind that door. Yeah, I can hold it together. Good. And listen, bring every financial document you can grab without her noticing. Bank statements, tax returns, investment accounts. If she's moving money, there's a trail. We're going to find all of it. He hangs up. I call the bank. The automated system routes me through 3 menus before I reach a human. A woman with a thick southern accent answers. First National, this is Brenda speaking. How can I help you today? My name is Michael Thompson, account number 8834. I just received a notification about a large transfer I didn't authorize. Let me pull that up for you, Mr. Thompson. Keyboard sounds. I see the transfer here. $47,000 to account 4472. Is there a problem? I didn't authorize that transfer. I don't know who David Brennan is, and I never agreed to open a joint account with him. Her tone shifts. Sir, I'm showing that account 4472 was opened on March 1st with your wife, Emily Thompson, and David Brennan as co-holders. The transfer was initiated by Mrs. Thompson using her online banking credentials. March 1st. 2 weeks ago. I need that transfer reversed. And I need a freeze on all my accounts immediately. Mr. Thompson, I understand your concern, but if this is a dispute between you and your wife about marital assets, this isn't a marital dispute. This is fraud. I'm telling you, I did not authorize this account or this transfer. I want a freeze. Now. Silence. Then, please hold. The hold music is classical. Something by Mozart. I watch the front door, waiting for Emily's car to appear. Brenda comes back. Mr. Thompson, I've escalated this to our fraud department. They're reviewing the account opening documents now. In the meantime, I can place a temporary hold on account 8834 pending investigation. Is that acceptable? What about the other account? The one with Brennan? I don't have authority to freeze that account, sir. You're not listed as a holder. But my money is in there. I understand. The fraud department will review everything. They'll contact you within 24 hours. 24 hours. A day for Emily and David Brennan to move that money again, to hide it somewhere I can't touch. Fine, freeze 8834, and any other accounts with my name on them. I'll make a note. Is there anything else? Yeah, I want copies of the account opening documents for 4472. The signature cards, the applications, everything. Those will need to be requested through the fraud department, but I'll add that to your file. She takes my contact information, confirms the freeze, promises someone will call. I hang up and sit in my truck watching my house. Emily's car pulls into the driveway at 4:15. She gets out, purse over her shoulder, hair pulled back in a ponytail. She looks tired. Normal. Like a woman coming home from a long shift at the hospital, not someone who just moved $50,000 to a secret account with her lover. She sees me in the truck and waves. I wave back. She disappears inside. Through the window, I watch her hug Jake, ruffle his hair. The perfect mother, the perfect wife. My phone buzzes. A text from Ryan. Found him. You need to see this. Get here early if you can. I check the time. 4:17 p.m. I grab my laptop bag from the back seat and head inside. I pull into the parking lot of the diner Ryan suggested, a 24-hour place off I-285 that looks like it hasn't been updated since 1987. The neon sign flickers. Waffle World. 3 cars in the lot, none of them Ryan's Charger. I'm 20 minutes early, couldn't stay in that house another second, watching Emily hum while she folded laundry, pretending everything was normal. I told her I needed to grab something from the office. She kissed my cheek. My phone sits on the dashboard. The bank confirmation email is still open. Transfer completed, $47,000 to joint account, ending in 4892. Account holders: Emily Thompson, David Brennan. David Brennan. The name means nothing. I've run it through my head 100 times since this afternoon. No David in her friend groups. No Brennan at the hospital that she's mentioned. Nobody from Georgia State that I remember. But she opened a joint account with him. Not just an affair, a financial partnership. People don't do that for casual hookups. Joint accounts mean planning. Future tense. Headlights sweep across the parking lot. Ryan's Charger pulls in next to my truck. He's out before I can open my door, manila folder in his hand. Inside, he says, "You need to see this." The diner smells like coffee and grease. A waitress with gray hair and tired eyes waves us to a booth in the back. Ryan doesn't wait for her to bring menus. He opens the folder. The first page is a printout from LinkedIn. Professional headshot, corporate background. David Brennan, Senior Financial Advisor, Merrill Lynch. Mid-40s. Good looking in that generic way, square jaw, expensive haircut, white teeth and a practiced smile. Wedding ring visible in the photo. He's married, I say. Was. Ryan flips to the next page. Divorce finalized 8 months ago. Wife got the house in Buckhead, primary custody of their 2 kids. He kept his investment portfolio and a condo in Midtown. How did you? Public records. Divorce filings are searchable in Georgia. He taps another page. Here's where it gets interesting. It's a property record. The condo address, purchase date, price, $680,000. Purchased 3 months ago. Wait, his divorce was finalized 8 months ago. He bought this place 3 months ago. Right. So where was he living in between? Ryan pulls out another document. Lease agreement for a corporate apartment in Sandy Springs, month to month. He moved out March 15th. March. I try to remember what Emily was doing in March. Normal stuff, work, kids' activities, She went to some nursing conference in the nursing conference, I say. March 20th through 22nd, in Orlando. Ryan's expression doesn't change. I pulled her credit card records for March. You want to guess where she really was? My mouth is dry. Not Orlando? Atlanta, specifically the Ritz-Carlton in Buckhead. 3 nights, 2 guests registered to the room. He slides another printout across the table. David Brennan's credit card paid for room service, champagne, steaks, breakfast in bed. The waitress appears. Ryan orders coffee for both of us. She leaves. I stare at the documents. 3 months ago, Emily was at the Ritz with this man, while I was home with Jake and Olivia, making mac and cheese and helping with homework. She sent me photos from the conference. I remember them. Her in front of a banner with the conference logo, smiling. Her with a group of other nurses, all in business casual. The photos, I say. Probably from a different conference. Or she went to Orlando for a few hours, took some pictures, came back. Ryan's voice is flat, professional. People planning this kind of thing are usually pretty thorough. The coffee arrives. I don't touch it. How long? I ask. How long has this been going on? Ryan flips through more pages. Hotel records, restaurant charges. First charge I can confirm is January, dinner at Bones, high-end steakhouse. But my guess? They met before that. Maybe late last year. 10 months, maybe longer. The joint account, I say. Why would she? That's the part that worries me. Ryan pulls out a different document. Bank records. She didn't just transfer your savings. Look at the account activity. The statement shows deposits. Regular deposits starting 6 weeks ago. $5,000, $3,000, $8,000. Amounts that don't match Emily's paycheck schedule. What is this? I'm still working on that, but Mike... Ryan leans forward. These aren't small amounts, and they're coming from multiple sources, different banks. This isn't just an affair account. This is something bigger. My vision narrows. The diner sounds fade. The clatter of dishes, the hum of conversation from the counter. You think she's stealing. I think she's moving money. Whether it's stolen, hidden, or something else, I don't know yet. But people don't create joint accounts with their affair partners unless they're planning something permanent. The word hits like a punch. Permanent. She's leaving, I say. Ryan doesn't answer immediately. He pulls out one more document, a screenshot of a text message exchange. Soon, Emily wrote. Just a few more weeks. The kids? David's response. They'll adjust. They're young. And him? He won't fight it. He never fights anything. The date stamp, 4 days ago. I read it again. Then again. The words don't change. He won't fight it. He never fights anything. Mike, Ryan's voice cuts through. I need you to stay calm. I'm calm. You're gripping that coffee cup like you want to break it. I look down. My knuckles are white. I release the cup slowly. What else? I ask. That's what I have so far. But Mike, listen to me. This timeline is accelerating. That $47,000 transfer? That's not a slow leak. That's a grab. She's moving faster than I expected. Why? I don't know. Maybe she knows you're suspicious. Maybe she and Brennan have a deadline. Maybe... He pauses. Maybe there's something else we haven't found yet. I think about Emily this afternoon. Humming. Folding laundry. Kissing my cheek when I left. No sign of panic. No indication she suspected anything. She doesn't know, I say. She thinks I'm clueless. Then we use that. Ryan closes the folder. But we need to move fast. If she's planning to leave, she might drain more accounts, transfer assets. We need to know what else she has access to. The house is in both our names. Joint checking and savings. Well, what's left of the savings? Her 401k is hers. Mine is mine. I run through the mental inventory. The kids' college funds are in my name. She can't touch those. Good. What about investments? Property? Anything else? No, we're not rich. We're just normal. Ryan nods. Then the $47,000 might be the bulk of it. But we need to verify. I'll need access to all your account information. Everything. Can you get me that tonight? Yeah. And Mike, he meets my eyes. You need to decide what you want here, because once we start making moves, there's no going back. If you want to try to save the marriage, no. The word comes out harder than I intended. The waitress glances over. No, I repeat, quieter. I want her out. I want my kids safe. And I want to make sure she doesn't take anything else that isn't hers. Ryan studies me for a long moment. Then he nods. Okay. Then here's what we do. Tomorrow, you act normal. Go to work. Come home. Don't change anything. I'm going to dig deeper into Brennan, his finances, his connections, everything. I want to know if there's more money moving that we haven't seen. What about Emily? Let her think she's winning. Let her think you're the guy who never fights anything. His expression hardens. And while she's thinking that, we build the case. Bank records, hotel receipts, text messages, everything we need to bury her in court. I nod slowly. The rage is there, underneath everything, but it's cold now. Controlled. One more thing, Ryan says. I'm going to recommend you talk to a lawyer tomorrow. Someone good. Someone who specializes in this. I don't know any divorce lawyers. I do. Her name's Patricia Owens. She's a shark. I'll text you her number tonight. We sit in silence for a moment. Through the window, I can see my truck in the parking lot. In an hour, I'll drive home. Emily will be there, maybe watching TV, maybe already in bed. She'll ask how the office was. I'll say fine. She'll smile. And I'll smile back. Mike, Ryan's voice is quiet. You good? I pick up the coffee. It's lukewarm now, but I drink it anyway. Yeah, I say. I'm good. The email sits in my inbox like a landmine. Confirmation. Joint account transfer. $47,000. I read it 3 times before the words actually register. Emily transferred our money, half our savings, to a joint account with someone named David Brennan. My hands are steady as I screenshot the notification. Forward it to Ryan. Then I open a new browser window and log into our bank. The account balance makes my stomach drop. $48,322.14. Yesterday, it showed $95,000. We've been saving for years. Olivia's braces, Jake's potential surgery if his asthma doesn't improve, the new roof we need before next winter. Gone. Just like that. I click through to the transaction history. The transfer processed at 11:47 a.m., 2 hours ago. While I was inspecting a commercial site in Buckhead, Emily was draining our savings account. My phone buzzes. Ryan. Tell me you're seeing what I'm seeing, he says. Joint account, David Brennan. I'm already running him. Give me 10 minutes. I hang up and stare at the computer screen. Joint account? The words feel obscene. We have a joint account, the one she just emptied. Why would she need another one? Unless she's been planning this longer than I thought. I pull up our credit card statements again, cross-referencing dates. The hotel charges started in January. 7 months of lies. But when did she open this account with him? My email dings. Ryan, already. David Brennan, Senior Financial Advisor at Merrill Lynch, Buckhead office. 42 years old. Divorced 6 months ago, messy split. Wife got the house in Roswell. He's been working there 8 years. Manages about $40 million in client assets. No criminal record. Drives a BMW 5 Series, lives in a condo at Terminus. I read the message twice. A financial advisor. Of course. Someone who knows how to move money, hide assets, create accounts that won't show up on casual scrutiny. How long have they had this joint account? I text back. 3 minutes pass. Then, working on it, need to make some calls. I close my laptop before I put my fist through it. The kitchen suddenly feels too small, too bright. Afternoon sun streams through the window over the sink, illuminating the coffee maker Emily used this morning. Her mug still sits in the dishwasher, lipstick stain on the rim. She kissed me goodbye, told me to have a good day at work, then transferred $47,000 to her boyfriend. My phone rings again. Ryan. The account was opened April 3rd, he says without preamble. 4 months ago, both their names on it, equal access. April. I try to remember what happened in April. Jake's birthday was the 15th. We had a party at the house, invited his whole class. Emily baked a Batman cake from scratch, spent hours on the frosting. I have photos of her laughing, covered in blue icing, Jake's arms around her neck. 2 weeks before that, she was opening secret bank accounts with another man. There's more, Ryan continues. I pulled what I could access. That $47,000 isn't the only money in there. The account shows deposits from multiple sources. Small amounts mostly, 500 here, 1,000 there. But they add up. How much total? As of yesterday, about 63,000. The number doesn't make sense. Where did the other 16,000 come from? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Some of it's from Brennan. His paycheck gets direct deposited, and he's been routing portions to this account. But there are cash deposits too. Different branches, different amounts, and 2 wire transfers from accounts I can't trace yet. I lean against the counter. Can you get me transaction details? I'm working on it. But Michael, this looks like more than just an affair fund. This looks like she's been systematically moving money for months. What are you saying? I'm saying I don't know yet, but people don't open joint accounts and make mysterious deposits unless they're planning something. And whatever she's planning, it involves a lot of cash. Through the window, I see Mrs. Patterson walking her terrier. Normal Tuesday afternoon in the suburbs. Somewhere, Emily is at work, probably texting David Brennan about their future, their joint account, their plans. Can I freeze it? I ask. Not without tipping her off. It's a legitimate joint account. You're not a party to it, so you have no legal standing. If you try to freeze it, she'll know you know. What about our actual joint account? That one you can freeze. Well, you can withdraw your half and move it to a separate account. Technically, it's marital property, so you're entitled to half. Do it fast before she moves the rest. I'm already opening my laptop again. What about her paycheck? It goes into our joint account. Once you separate the accounts, she'll have to redirect her deposits. But that's her problem, not yours. The bank website loads. I navigate to transfers, start setting up a new individual account. My hands move automatically, muscle memory from years of managing our finances. Our finances. What a joke. I need those transaction details, I tell Ryan. Every deposit, every withdrawal, I need to know what she's doing with that money. I'll have something by tonight. But Michael, be smart about this. Don't confront her yet. We need to know what we're dealing with first. After we hang up, I sit in the kitchen and finish the transfer. $48,322, $14 moved from our joint savings to a new account in my name only. Then I do the same with checking. $3,147.52. Not much, but it's mine. The confirmation emails arrive within minutes. I forward them to my personal email account, the one Emily doesn't know about. Then I delete them from the shared computer. My phone buzzes. Text from Emily. Picking up dinner on the way home. Rotisserie chicken okay? I stare at the message. She just stole $47,000 from our savings, and she's asking about chicken. Sounds good, I type back, "Thanks, babe." The word tastes like poison. I spend the next hour going through our financial records with new eyes. Every transaction, every charge, every deposit. Looking for patterns I missed before. There. March 28th. Cash withdrawal, $2,000. The memo says, kitchen renovation deposit. We talked about updating the kitchen last year, but never committed. I assumed she'd changed her mind. February 14th. Valentine's Day. Charge at a jewelry store in Buckhead. 8:47. She gave me a card that day. Said jewelry was too expensive, we should save for the kids instead. I thought it was sweet, practical. January 9th. Cash withdrawal, whole $500. Memo. New laptop for work. She's been using the same laptop for 3 years. How much? How much has she stolen while I was busy trusting her? My phone buzzes again. Ryan, with an attachment. Preliminary transaction history. The wire transfers came from an account at SunTrust. Still working on identifying the owner, but it's registered to an LLC. Brennan's name is on the corporate docs. I open the PDF. Pages of transactions color-coded by type. Green for deposits, red for withdrawals. There's a lot of green. And at the bottom, a note in Ryan's handwriting. Patterns suggest structured deposits designed to avoid reporting thresholds. Each under 10K. This isn't amateur hour. I read the note 3 times. Structured deposits. That's what criminals do when they're trying to hide money from the IRS, from investigators, from spouses. The front door opens. Emily's voice carries from the hallway. "I'm home. Got the chicken and some of that coleslaw you like?" I close my laptop, smooth my expression into something resembling normal. "In the kitchen," I call back. She appears in the doorway, still in her scrubs, hair pulled back in a ponytail. Smiling. She sets the takeout bags on the counter and kisses my cheek. "Long day?" she asks. "Not too bad. You?" "Exhausting. We had a trauma come in around noon. Total chaos." She starts unpacking containers. "Oh, and I talked to my sister. She's doing better. Might not need me to visit after all." Phoenix, the sister who doesn't exist. The nursing conference that was actually a weekend with David Brennan. "That's good," I say. "Save you a trip?" She smiles at me. Warm, genuine, the smile I fell in love with 15 years ago. "Can you get the kids?" she asks. "Dinner's ready." I head upstairs, my phone heavy in my pocket. The transaction history burning in my email. $63,000 in a secret account. Structured deposits, and LLC. Whatever Emily's planning, it's bigger than an affair. And I'm going to find out exactly what it is. The email sits on my phone screen like a coiled snake. Subject line. Joint account transfer confirmation. $47,000. I read it 3 times before the words actually penetrate. Emily transferred our money, my money, the savings I built over 12 years of crawling through attics and inspecting foundations, to a joint account. With David Brennan. The account I already know about. The one Ryan found yesterday. But this email isn't from our usual bank. It's from SunTrust. I tap the notification, and my banking app opens to an account I've never seen before. Account ending in 7392. Opened March 15th. Joint holders, Emily Thompson and Michael Thompson. My hands go numb. We don't have a joint account at SunTrust. We bank at Wells Fargo. Always have. I scroll through the transaction history with fingers that don't feel attached to my body. The account opened with $500. Emily's name on the initial deposit. Then nothing for 2 weeks. Then another $500. Then $200. Then $800. Small amounts spread out over months. Different branches across Atlanta. Cash deposits. Always cash. The balance yesterday was $3,847. Today it's $50,847. The transfer posted at 9:23 this morning. While I was inspecting a strip mall foundation in Alpharetta, Emily was draining our Wells Fargo savings account and moving it here. To an account she opened in my name, without my knowledge, without my signature. That's bank fraud, identity theft. I sit in my truck outside the Kroger where I stopped to grab lunch, but I'm not hungry anymore. The sandwich on the passenger seat might as well be cardboard. My phone buzzes. Ryan. You sitting down? He asks. Yeah. Found something. That LLC funneling money to Brennan's account with Emily? It's called Clearwater Medical Consulting, registered in Delaware, which is a red flag by itself. But here's the interesting part. The registered agent is a law firm that specializes in setting up shells for healthcare companies. Healthcare. Emily's a nurse administrator. She approves vendor contracts, right? Processes payments. My stomach drops. You think she's kickbacks? I think someone is paying Clearwater, and Clearwater is paying her. I'm still tracing the incoming wires, but 3 of them came from medical supply companies that do business with her hospital. We're talking $15,000 here, $22,000 there. Amounts big enough to matter, small enough not to trigger automatic audits. I close my eyes. How much total? Into Clearwater? North of $400,000 over the past 18 months. The number hangs in the air like smoke. How much made it to Emily? That's harder to track. The LLC pays out to multiple accounts. Brennan's getting a cut, probably for setting it up and managing it. But based on the deposits to their joint account and now this SunTrust thing you're telling me about, I'd estimate Emily's pulled at least $150,000. Jesus, it gets better. Or worse, depending on your perspective. I found property records. Brennan bought a condo in Asheville last month. Mountain views, 3 bedrooms, $385,000. Paid cash. Asheville, North Carolina, 4 hours away. They're running, I say. That'd be my guess. And if Emily's skimming from hospital vendors, she's got a shelf life. Eventually someone notices. Eventually an auditor asks questions. So you set up your exit, you move the money, you disappear before anyone connects the dots. And she's using my name to hide it. The SunTrust account makes sense now. Another layer, another shell. If investigators come looking, they find a joint account with her husband. Legitimate, normal. Just a married couple saving money. Except I never signed anything. Never authorized anything. She forged my signature, I say. Had to. Banks require both parties to open a joint account. Probably. Which means you've got her on fraud, identity theft, and embezzlement. The affair is just icing. I watch a woman load groceries into her trunk 3 spaces over. Normal afternoon, normal life. She has no idea that 10 feet away, someone's entire existence is collapsing. Ryan, I got a bank notification this morning. She transferred $47,000 from our Wells Fargo savings to this SunTrust account. Our real savings. The legitimate money. Silence on the other end. Then, she's accelerating. Something spooked her, or she's on a timeline. Either way, she's moving assets fast. Can I get it back? You're on the account. Technically, even if you didn't open it. So yeah, you can access it. But Mike, if you drain it, she'll know you know. Right now, you've got the advantage. She thinks she's being careful. She thinks you're clueless. So I just let her steal 50 grand? I'm saying be strategic. You move that money, you tip your hand. She lawyers up, warns Brennan. Maybe they run tonight instead of in a few weeks. You lose your chance to document everything. The woman with the groceries drives away. A teenager pushes a cart past my truck, earbuds in, oblivious. How long do I have? I ask. Based on the texts? She said a few more weeks 2 days ago. But that transfer today? That's not someone taking their time. I'd say you've got days, not weeks. Then I need to move faster. I'm working on it. I've got a buddy at the FBI who handles white-collar crime. Healthcare fraud is federal. If I can get him the documentation, no. The word comes out harder than I intend. Not yet. Mike. She stole from me, stole from our kids. I want the evidence, all of it. But I want it in my hands first, before the feds, before anyone. Ryan's quiet for a moment. What are you thinking? I'm thinking she opened a bank account in my name, which means I can walk into any SunTrust branch and access it. I can see every transaction, every deposit, every withdrawal. I can download statements going back to March. You can also clean it out. Yeah, I can. And then what? She comes home tonight, checks the balance, and finds zero? I start the truck. Then she panics, and people who panic make mistakes. Or they run. Let them run. You've got Brennan's address. You've got the Asheville condo. You've got the LLC. She runs. We know where she's going. And when she gets there, the FBI is waiting. You're playing with fire. She already burned the house down, Ryan. I'm just making sure I get the insurance. He sighs. There's a SunTrust branch on Peachtree. I'll meet you there in 30 minutes. Bring your driver's license and anything else that proves you're Michael Thompson. We're going to need to establish your identity before they let you touch that account. I'll be there in 20. I end the call and pull out of the Kroger parking lot. The sandwich sits forgotten on the passenger seat, and I realize my hands aren't shaking anymore. They're steady. For 12 years, I trusted her, believed her, never questioned the late nights at the hospital, the weekend conferences, the girls' trips to Savannah and Phoenix that never happened. I was the boring husband, the reliable one, the one who didn't fight. She was right about that. I never fought. But she made one mistake. She assumed I wouldn't fight because I couldn't, because I didn't have it in me. She confused patience with weakness. My phone buzzes again. Another email. This one from Wells Fargo. Account alert. Your savings account balance has fallen below $1,000. She didn't just transfer the $47,000. She took everything except the minimum to keep the account open. I pull over on the shoulder of Peachtree Street, hazards blinking, and check the Wells Fargo app. Balance, $847.23. Yesterday it was $48,847.23. She cleaned us out. I sit there with traffic rushing past, and something cold settles in my chest. Not anger. Not even shock anymore. Just a crystalline clarity that cuts through everything else. Emily thinks she's 3 steps ahead. She thinks she's planned this perfectly. The affair, the money, the exit strategy. She thinks I'll come home tonight, kiss her cheek, ask about her day, and never notice that our entire life savings just vanished. She thinks I'm predictable. She's right. I am predictable. I'm predictably thorough, predictably methodical, predictably patient. And when I finish documenting every lie, every theft, every forged signature, I'm going to be predictably ruthless. I put the truck in drive and head toward the SunTrust branch. Ryan's already there when I arrive, leaning against his car in the parking lot. He straightens when he sees me. You ready for this? He asks. I look at the bank entrance. Clean glass doors, professional signage. The kind of place where people open accounts and plan futures. Yeah, I say. Let's go see how deep this goes. The SunTrust branch manager's office smells like printer toner and synthetic lavender. Patricia Novak, that's the name on her desk placard, has the kind of smile that doesn't reach her eyes. She's already pulled up the account on her screen before Ryan and I sit down. Mr. Thompson, she says, I pulled your joint account as requested. Everything appears to be in order. I lean forward. When was this account opened? She clicks through screens. February 7th, just over 6 weeks ago. And who opened it? Your wife, Emily Thompson. She had all the required documentation, both signatures, identification, initial deposit of $5,000. My jaw tightens. Can I see the signature card? Patricia hesitates, glances at Ryan, then back to me. Of course. She prints something, slides it across the desk. There's my signature, or what's supposed to be my signature, right next to Emily's flowing script. It's close, damn close. But the M in Michael is wrong, too rounded. I always make it angular, sharp. That's not my signature, I say. Patricia's smile freezes. I'm sorry? This signature is forged. I never opened this account. I never signed this document. Ryan pulls out his phone, opens a photo. Here's Mr. Thompson's actual signature from his driver's license. Compare them. Patricia studies both documents. Her face goes pale. I'll need to escalate this. You do that, I say. But first, I want to see every transaction on this account. She prints the statement without another word. 3 pages. I scan through them while Patricia makes a hushed phone call to someone in fraud prevention. The account opened February 7th with $5,000, then nothing for a week. Then the transfer started. February 14th, deposit $8,000, wire transfer from Clearwater Medical Consulting LLC. February 21st, deposit $8,000, wire transfer from Clearwater Medical Consulting LLC. February 28th, deposit $8,000, wire transfer from Clearwater Medical Consulting LLC. March the 7th, deposit $8,000, wire transfer from Clearwater Medical Consulting LLC. March 14th, deposit $8,000, wire transfer from Clearwater Medical Consulting LLC. March 21st, deposit $47,000, transfer from Wells Fargo account ending in 4392, our savings. Current balance, $92,847.33. I do the math. Emily's been funneling $8,000 a week from the LLC into this fraudulent account, structured to stay under reporting thresholds. Then she dumped our entire savings on top of it. $92,000. Stolen from the hospital, laundered through the LLC, hidden in an account opened with my forged signature. Jesus, Ryan mutters, reading over my shoulder. Patricia hangs up, her professional composure cracking. Mr. Thompson, our fraud department wants to freeze the account immediately pending investigation. This is a serious matter. How serious? I ask. Identity theft, bank fraud, possible money laundering. We'll need to file a suspicious activity report with FinCEN. The authorities will be notified. Ryan leans back, crosses his arms. How long before the account holder is notified of the freeze? Immediately. She'll be unable to access the funds as soon as I enter the freeze in our system. I look at Ryan. He gives me the slightest nod. Don't freeze it yet, I say. Patricia blinks. Excuse me? Give me 24 hours. I need to consult with my attorney first. If you freeze it now, she'll know I'm onto her. She'll destroy evidence, maybe run. I need time to document everything properly. Mr. Thompson, I understand, but bank policy is to protect the victim of fraud, right? Ryan cuts in. Michael is the victim here. His wife forged his signature, opened a fraudulent account, and is using it to hide embezzled funds. Freezing it now tips her off before he can secure his legal position and protect his children. Patricia looks between us, clearly out of her depth. I need to speak with my supervisor. You do that, I say. But understand something. If this freeze goes through today, and my wife empties our remaining accounts, maxes out our credit cards, or disappears with my kids before I can file for divorce and emergency custody, I'll make sure everyone knows SunTrust prioritized policy over protecting a fraud victim. It's a bluff. Mostly. But Patricia's face goes even paler. Wait here, she says, and leaves the office. Ryan grins. Nice. Think it'll work? 50-50, but we've got enough documentation either way. The fraud's already committed. Whether they freeze it today or tomorrow doesn't change that. I study the statement again. $8,000 a week, every week since mid-February. That's not random. That's systematic. That's a schedule. She's been doing this for months, I say. Maybe longer. This account only goes back 6 weeks, but the LLC has been moving money since January. Probably has another account somewhere, Ryan says. This might just be the staging ground before the final move. My phone buzzes. Text from Emily. Running late. Surgery went long. Home by 7. Love you. Love you. I stare at those 2 words until they stop meaning anything. Patricia returns with an older man in a gray suit. He introduces himself as Douglas Kemp, Regional Security Manager. Mr. Thompson, he says, settling into Patricia's chair. This is an unusual situation. That's one word for it. I've reviewed the signature card. You're correct. There are discrepancies. However, our policy is clear. Once fraud is identified, we must freeze the account and file the appropriate reports. And I'm asking for 24 hours to get my legal affairs in order first. Douglas folds his hands. I understand your position, but if we delay and additional fraudulent activity occurs, the bank could be held liable. No additional activity will occur, I say. My wife thinks I'm clueless. She's not planning to move the money yet. She's still accumulating. Give me until tomorrow at 5 p.m., then freeze it, file your reports, do whatever you need to do, but give me time to protect my kids first. Douglas studies me for a long moment. Then he looks at Ryan. You're a private investigator? Ryan hands him a card. Former Atlanta PD. I'm helping Mr. Thompson document the full scope of the fraud before it goes to the authorities. Which authorities? FBI, Ryan says. Healthcare fraud. This LLC is funneling kickbacks from medical supply vendors. We're talking federal charges. That gets Douglas's attention. His expression shifts from bureaucratic caution to something more calculating. If we cooperate with your timeline, he says slowly, and this becomes a federal case, will you make it clear that SunTrust Bank assisted the investigation? I see what he's doing. He wants to turn this from a bank security failure into a cooperative effort with law enforcement. Absolutely, I say. You've been extremely helpful in uncovering the fraud. Douglas nods. 5 p.m. tomorrow, not a minute later. And if there's any indication she's attempting to access the funds before then, we freeze it immediately. Deal. He has Patricia print additional documentation, copies of the signature card, the full transaction history, account opening records. Everything goes into a manila envelope that's already getting thick with evidence. Outside, the afternoon sun is too bright. I sit in my truck, engine running, staring at nothing. You okay? Ryan asks. $92,000. She stole $92,000, forged my signature, and is probably planning to disappear with her boyfriend to North Carolina. And now we know exactly where the money is. I look at him. What are you thinking? I'm thinking you've got 24 hours before that account freezes. 24 hours where you're technically a joint account holder. Even if the signature's forged, your name is on the account. You're saying I should drain it. I'm saying it's your money. She stole your savings and put them in that account. The embezzled funds are a different story. That's evidence. But your 47 grand? That's yours. I consider it. Walk back into SunTrust, withdraw $47,000, put it somewhere Emily can't touch it. It would be justice. It would be smart. But it would also tip my hand. Not yet, I say. Let her think everything's fine. Let her get comfortable. When this all comes down, I want her completely blindsided. Ryan nods. Your call. But that offer expires at 5 p.m. tomorrow. My phone buzzes again. Another text from Emily. Can you pick up Jake from soccer? I'm stuck here. I text back, sure, no problem. Then I start the truck and head toward the elementary school fields. Because that's what good fathers do. They pick up their kids from soccer practice. They maintain normalcy. They protect their children from the bomb that's about to detonate their family. Jake is muddy and grinning when he climbs into the truck, chattering about the goal he almost scored. I listen and respond and ruffle his hair, And the whole time I'm thinking about $92,000 in forged signatures and the woman who promised to love me until death do us part. 24 hours until the account freezes. 72 hours until Emily's scheduled conference. The clock is ticking. The Georgia sun beat down on the courthouse steps as I walked out with Olivia and Jake flanking me. The marble felt solid under my feet, more solid than anything had in the past 8 months. "Ice cream?" Jake asked, squinting up at me. "Sure, buddy, let's go." Ryan met us at the bottom of the steps, loosening his tie. He'd testified earlier about the paper trail, the LLC, the systematic theft. Professional. Devastating. "Clean sweep," he said quietly as the kids ran ahead toward my truck. The judge didn't leave her anything to stand on. I watched Olivia help her brother with his seatbelt. 10 years old and already more responsible than her mother ever was. Emily got 18 months federal for the healthcare fraud and embezzlement. David Brennan flipped on her immediately when the FBI showed up at his Buckhead office, admitted to setting up Clearwater Medical Consulting, detailed every kickback and wire transfer. He got 12 months and disbarment from financial services. The Asheville condo was seized as proceeds of crime. The divorce was almost anticlimactic after that. Full custody to me. The house, the remaining assets, everything. Emily's attorney, a public defender after her money got frozen, tried to argue duress, manipulation, some story about Brennan controlling her. The judge wasn't buying it. Not after seeing the texts, the forged signatures, the calculated timeline. She'd be out in 14 months with good behavior. The kids would be 11 and 9 by then. "You think she'll try for visitation when she gets out?" Ryan asked. I unlocked the truck. Her lawyer mentioned it. "Supervised visits, maybe. We'll see." What I didn't say, Olivia asked me last week if she had to see Mommy when she got out of timeout. That's what we'd called it, trying to shield them from the worst of it. I told her we'd figure it out together. She nodded, relieved, and went back to her homework. Kids are resilient, but they're not stupid. They knew Emily had been lying, had been planning to leave. They'd heard enough before I could shield them. Olivia especially. She'd found her mother crying on the phone one night, heard her say, "I can't do this anymore," to someone who wasn't me. The ice cream shop was busy, filled with after-school crowds. Jake got chocolate chip cookie dough. Olivia got strawberry. I got nothing, just watched them eat and laugh about something that happened at recess. "Dad," Olivia said, wiping her mouth, "can we go to the park after this?" "Yeah, sweetheart, we've got time." Time. That's what I had now. Time with my kids. Time to rebuild. Time to stop looking over my shoulder waiting for the next lie, the next betrayal. The hospital fired Emily the day the FBI filed charges. Her nursing license was suspended pending review, likely permanent revocation. The vendors who'd paid the kickbacks through Clearwater got investigated too. 2 executives took plea deals. The whole thing unraveled like a cheap sweater. I got the $47,000 back from the Sun Trust account after the fraud investigation concluded. The embezzled money was seized, used for restitution to the hospital. Our Wells Fargo savings account was restored. I'd even gotten the $8,000 she'd spent on hotel rooms with Brennan. The judge ordered him to pay it back as part of his restitution. Patricia Owens, the divorce attorney Ryan recommended, had been worth every penny. She'd buried Emily's legal team under documentation, bank records, hotel receipts, text messages, Ryan's investigative reports. The whole thing was over in 4 months. "Mr. Thompson?" I turned. A woman in her 30s, professional attire, tentative smile. "I'm sorry to bother you. I'm Jennifer Kramer. I work at the hospital, worked with Emily." My guard went up automatically. "I just wanted to say..." She glanced at the kids, lowered her voice. A lot of us had no idea what was happening, the kickback scheme. When it all came out, we were shocked. I'm sorry you and your children had to go through this. I nodded. Thank you. And I wanted you to know, the hospital implemented new oversight procedures. Multiple approvals for vendor contracts now, regular audits. It won't happen again. She meant well. I could see it in her eyes. But all I could think was, it shouldn't have happened in the first place. I appreciate that, I said. She left. Jake was already finished with his ice cream, chocolate smeared on his chin. Olivia was taking careful, small bites, making hers last. Dad? Jake asked. Are we still going to the Braves game on Saturday? Absolutely. Got the tickets right here. I patted my wallet. His face lit up. Simple joy. Uncomplicated. That's what I wanted for them. Simplicity. Stability. A life where promises meant something. Ryan walked us to the truck after we left the ice cream shop. You doing okay? Really? Yeah, I said. And meant it. Better than I thought I'd be. The kids? Therapy's helping. They're angry sometimes. Confused. But they're okay. We're okay. He clapped my shoulder. You did good, Mike. A lot of guys would have fallen apart. I thought about that. About the moment I found the hotel receipt. The cold clarity that had washed over me. The decision to document everything instead of confronting her. The patience to let her think she was winning while I built the case that would bury her. I just wanted my kids safe, I said. Everything else was just logistics. Ryan grinned. Logistics. That's one way to put it. We said goodbye. I drove the kids to the park, watched them run toward the playground. Olivia helped Jake onto the monkey bars, steadying him when he wobbled. 10 years old and already the protective big sister. My phone buzzed. Email from my attorney. The final divorce decree signed by the judge. Official. I deleted it. Didn't need to read it again. Didn't need to memorize the details of how thoroughly Emily had lost everything. What I needed was right in front of me. 2 kids laughing on a playground, safe and whole, and mine. The sun was setting by the time we got home. Orange and pink streaking across the Georgia sky. I made spaghetti for dinner. Jake set the table. Olivia helped with the sauce. Normal evening. Normal life. After they went to bed, I sat on the back porch with a beer and looked at the stars. 12 years of marriage. Gone. A woman I'd loved and trusted. Gone. The future we'd planned. Growing old together. Watching our kids graduate and get married and have kids of their own. Gone. But here's what remained. Integrity. Truth. The knowledge that when I told my kids something, they could believe it. When I made a promise, I kept it. When I said I'd protect them, I meant it. Emily had taught me something valuable in the worst possible way. She'd taught me that trust isn't the same as blindness, that love doesn't mean ignoring evidence, that sometimes the people closest to you are capable of unimaginable betrayal. But she'd also taught me what I was capable of. The strength I had when it mattered. The clarity that came from protecting what was truly important. I finished my beer and went inside. Checked on both kids. Jake sprawled across his bed. Olivia curled up with her stuffed elephant. Both sleeping soundly. Tomorrow I'd go back to work. Inspect buildings. Check foundations. Make sure structures were sound and safe. It's what I was good at. And when I came home, my kids would be here. No lies, no secrets, no wondering where half our money went or whether the person sleeping next to me was planning their escape. Just us. Building something new on solid ground. That was enough. That was everything.